In dating, I think it's very appropriate and necessary for women to have a roster. I think it's important for women to rotationally date. Whereas for men, I believe it's really important to focus on one girl.
She doesn't realize that she's perfectly describing the current dating market.
Because women are manipulative. They want to control men.
A video the other day, a girl's like, men are afraid to come up to us. They're not afraid to come up to you. But by and large, they're just like, I don't need this aggravation today.
It's true. The juice is too often not worth the squeeze, and staying single the best option.
That there are so many girls who are hot and successful, but they're still single. I read every dating book under the sun. This is what they said. The first reason they're single is because of something called hypergamy. That means we tend to want to date up, which means women tend to want to date a guy who's got more money and social status than her. This doesn't make women shallow. This is just evolutionary. So as you can imagine, if a woman is already making 6 figures and super attractive, the chances of her finding a man who's even more career successful and makes more money and has more social status and meets her high standards is going to be extremely slim. The second reason is because most women who are super career driven lead with their masculine energy, because it's what's got them career success.
Many women fail to notice that successful women not only suffer because their so-called success reduces the number of men who can be considered potential partners. There is also the fact that successful men are not interested in a woman's success when they are looking for a partner. The problem is, therefore, not only that successful women have a small pool of men to choose from, but also that the options available to such men increase with their success. As a result, it is much more sensible for a man to be successful, while for a woman, in most cases, it ends up being a complete disappointment.
A video the other day, a girl's like, men are afraid to come up to us. They're not afraid to come up to you. I mean, maybe some feel a little insecure, but by and large, they're just like, I don't need this aggravation today. I don't need some diva aggravation today, because more often than not, what do? Nasty, like a little attitude, puckered lips. You know the pucker lip. They're tired. They're tired. They're tired of getting made fun of. They're tired of being, abused. They're tired of getting, oh, I'm a meme now. Because why? Because I looked your way for 2 seconds in the gym?
I feel like I've been pretty positive about being single and just knowing that when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. But then some days I have a day like today and I'm over waiting. Like I am just like it hurts my heart. I'm now getting to a stage in my life where I feel ready to be in a relationship, and I've done a lot of work on myself so that I feel like I can trust someone again and stuff like that. But then like some days I'm just sick of waiting. Like I am over it. I get really lonely.
I am 33 years old and I am single. I have no children. My friend was over today. She's 32 years old, same, single, no children. We were talking about life. We did our vision boards and we were just thinking and reflecting on where life has taken us and why some things didn't work out. And if I could go back in time and tell younger me something, it'd be like, todo pasa por una razón. Everything happens for a reason. And everything makes sense now that there was like breakups that happened. There was jobs that didn't work out. There was houses that didn't work out.
It's funny how she tries to avoid taking responsibility for the poor decisions she has made in her life. Instead, she settles for statements like, everything happens for a reason. Behind this lies the firm belief that at the last moment, a white knight in shining armor will come riding in to rescue her from her mess. She is 33 years old, and so far, that hasn't happened. But who knows, maybe when she's in her mid-50s.
You know you're single when you're sitting and smiling at your phone and someone asks, who's got you smiling like that? Nobody. It's just memes.
I'm just really struggling being single today. Like, I just don't want to be single. I just want to be in a relationship, and it's actually really fucked up. Like, when I actually deep it, that I feel like I need to be in a relationship in order to be happy. Like, that is actually how I feel at the moment. Like, I don't feel like I'm myself unless I'm in a relationship. Can anybody else relate to that?
It's crazy when you think about how women have been convinced that it's unnatural to feel these needs. Instead, they're told how important independence is, but it's equally sad to see how these women only realize these things when they're on the brink of hitting the wall.
Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but I unfortunately think it's true. In dating, I think it's very appropriate and necessary for women to have a roster. More accurately, I think it's important for women to rotationally date, meaning they're going on dates with several men at a time. Whereas for men, I believe it's really important to focus on one girl.
What's crazy to me is that this woman is giving this advice and then she waits to the very end to say that she can't do rotational dating because she doesn't feel like she can love like that. She likes to give her attention to one man at a time. Like at this point, I'm not even sure. Is she just trying to eliminate her competition? Because if a man that's really interested in you, if he finds out that he has competition that you're entertaining, let alone an entire roster, that is a big turnoff. And it makes sense why, because men do have to put in a lot of energy when it comes to dating, especially during the early stages. So how is he going to want to do that with somebody that is not a good investment? Someone that very likely might just ghost him the next day. So if you're going to follow this advice, the only thing I'll say is that you have to be open and honest about it. You have to tell that man that you have a roster. And as long as you do that, well, we'll see how many hang in there.
Women like her try to avoid the fact that men often leave them by dating a wide range of men at the same time. They don't understand that their excessive standards are the reason such men don't see them as equal partners. However, they refuse to accept this reality, and instead of lowering their standards, they try to circumvent the problem through serial and parallel dating. But in the end, this strategy will naturally fail. Ultimately, a woman like her will only realize that instead of having her heart broken by one man, she now gets it broken by several men at once.
Women want to do to men what men do to women, and women are just losing at it. So that's what's pissing them off. That's why they love content where they think they're getting tea on men. Especially when the gays do it, they love it. Because what they're trying to do is learn how men do things so they can do it to men. So this is why, again, I understand why men operate the way they do with women, because women are manipulative. They don't want to love men. They don't want to like men. They want to control men. They want to do to men what men do to women, and they're failing miserably at it. If you have genuine feelings for someone, you don't need advice on how to treat them. Women are trying to manipulate. They're trying to learn ways to manipulate men. It's all bullshit. All of it. All of it. Women are whole fucking bozos. They're trying to do what men do and they're losing. Women are not getting what they want from men, which is submission, control, dominance. Everything that men get out of women, that's what women want from men. Women are not genuine either. They're not genuine.
I'm at the point of being single where when I hear someone say, oh, me and my boyfriend, or oh, me and my husband, we did this, I'm like, oh my God, you actually have one of those? Like they exist? Where did you get it?
Men like that are a dime a dozen. However, she doesn't realize that her friends are most likely women who don't have an inflated sense of their own worth and therefore have no problem dating men who are roughly on their own level.
When people ask me why I'm not dating, first of all, it's really hard to date at my age. Dating older men don't want women my age. They want them younger, sexier, smarter, faster, easier to manipulate. Men my age are going through the it's complicated stage, or separated but not sure what I want to do, or want to just be friends with benefits. And then the young ones, well, I ain't got time for that shit.
When a woman says that men are looking for women who are easier to manipulate, it actually means that men want women who are cooperative and the feminine. Instead of dealing with the boss attitude of a strong and independent woman, such men prefer peace. It has nothing to do with men wanting to manipulate. Women who say such things are simply trying to cover up the fact that men believe women like them aren't worth all the drama. Such an excuse is only meant to make them feel better in the end by denying reality.
Congratulations! Oh my God. She's a 10, but she's actually a 5 or 6, but her friends and social media have convinced her that she's this absolute dime. So the guys who are in her league that are 5, 6, and 7, she won't give a second glance to because she's so high up on her high horse that those men don't even exist in her realm. But the guys who are 8s, 9s, and 10s that she thinks are in her league just want her for and not to actually date. So instead, she ends up withering away her 20s because she has these incredibly high standards under the guise of, well, I'm not going to settle. I deserve what I deserve because I'm a 10, so I deserve nothing less than the best. And in reality, she'll end up lonely. And then when she reaches her 30s and figures out that her biological clock is running out, she's going to end up settling for the guys who are the 5, 6, and 7s, probably even lower, because at that age, there aren't many great men available. They've already been cuffed up. So she'll end up settling. But don't worry, ladies, if you're watching this, I'm not talking about you. You are a 10.